speakers. And let me introduce myself. I'm Hasan Özdemir, founder of PyData Türkiye, and working with PyData Python over 5 years. And I can say that I met PyData Global or almost 3 years ago. And when it comes to what exactly PyData is a global community that focuses on data science, data engineering, and Python ecosystem, and especially encouraging open source developer. So if you have an ongoing open source project, you can reach out to us, you can reach out PyData Global and get support for your project. And the reason is we founded PyData Türkiye is it started with my own interests. Let's say 3 years ago, I got 3 times scholarship for PyData Seattle, PyData Netherlands, but within 1 week, because you're receiving a mail that you got scholarship, you can join this $200, $300 event, but you need to get a ticket within 1 week to Seattle or to Netherlands to manage all this visa stuff, and it's almost impossible. So as Turkish people saying that I have decided to bring this opportunity to Turkish people so they can get benefit from this event. So that's the reason, and hopefully we will grow this community and help all of you and learn about from expert people. And when it comes to our participants' interests, there is 3 ways I can definitely say you can get benefit. Firstly, you can join our sessions, meet with our speaker, and learn from their expertise, because our speakers are from leading tech companies, or they are founded the tech companies who is going to lead the future of technology. And the other one is we have almost 200 registered people, and hopefully we will see all of them today, and you can meet with them. Our meetup.com or LinkedIn community is publicly open. You can reach out to them and share your interests or raise your questions. That's the second thing. And also you can share something, and by meeting with them, you can increase your LinkedIn likes. More friends, more likes. And the lastly is we have great sponsors, because this event made by with team, but also we required sponsors. We have today 2 different sponsors. One of them is a non-focus. It's also supporting all PyData community, and the other one is EPAM Systems. So you can check out their career page and find out more job opportunities for you, because they are actively hiring. Thank you, and hopefully you will enjoy again today. Let me introduce you Egecan Yılmaz from EPAM System. He is shortly going to introduce what EPAM doing in Turkey and how you can get information. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. I am Egecan Yılmaz, a lead software engineer at İPAM Python Turkey team. İPAM is a software consultancy that operates in over 50 countries and has over 50,000 employees. We officially opened our office in Turkey less than a year ago, and our team is growing rapidly. We are happy to be here supporting community initiatives, knowledge sharing, and networking events. Today, we have a few awesome speakers from İPAM that are ready to share their expertise. I am also putting some links in the chat for anyone who would like to connect and get more information. Wish you all a great event and hope to see some of you as our teammates in the near future.
Thank you, Egecan, for introducing yourself and for EPAM Systems. Like he mentioned, feel free to reach out to Egecan or epam.com, so you will find more information about that. Thank you. Let's move on to our keynote speaker. Welcome, Dr. Işıl Berkün. We are happy to see you here.
I am very happy to see you guys as well. So I would like to start with thank you to Hasan, Furkan, Egecan, and other organizers putting this event together. This is something I have been waiting for a very long time having in Turkey. So great job, you guys, putting this event together. So I'm excited to share some of my experience and background and some suggestions and some resources for our friends who joined today. And I would like to start my presentation by sharing my screen. So let me do that first. Okay, if someone can confirm that we are able to see my presentation screen, that would be awesome.
Yes, it is visible.
It is visible? Okay, wonderful. So I will now go ahead and start my presentation here shortly. So today I'm going to talk about technical skills and career advancement in AI and data science before we break into other technical topics. So I'm Işıl Berkün, and I am the founder of DigiFab AI and a Google Women Tech Makers Ambassador. I will talk about them in a bit. I'm very excited to be here with you today with this community of PyData Türkiye. And I will be guiding you through some of the essential skills in my experience that are needed for career advancement and in the fields of AI and data science. So this is designed to provide you with a practical and actionable list of items, if you will, to apply in your own career journey. So let's go ahead and explore the key technical skills, resources, and strategies that might help you to strengthen the foundation if you have already, or if you are just starting out building the essential skill sets for this field. So let's go ahead and move on. So first of all, who am I and why am I sharing this particular keynote speech today? So like I said, I am an entrepreneur. I'm working on my own company, DigiFab AI, and I am working with Google as an ambassador, Google Women Tech Makers Ambassador. So I have over a decade of experience in industry after PhD, particularly Intel Corporation in Oregon, United States. I worked as a staff AI software engineer there, excellent company. And then I ended that career to build my own company at this moment, along with my education career. So I've been an AI educator with experiences teaching at various places. That includes Columbia University in person in New York City, Michigan State University, Portland State University. These are Michigan and Oregon, respectively. And then Portland State University, LinkedIn Learning, which is in California, and then as well as some global Fortune 100 tech companies that I have worked with. My PhD is in electrical engineering from Michigan State. I've done master's with mechatronics engineering at Sabancı, and then my bachelor's in material science and engineering from Gebze Technical University. So why am I mentioning these? Because this whole journey gave me the right resources that can transform careers in AI like I did mine. Hopefully, it will help some of our audiences who are listening live or who are listening the recorded video session later on. So I will mention some of the free, or some of them actually has some cost, tools to gain skills in this field today. So let's go ahead and get started. So these are some of the courses that I have done in person in California with LinkedIn Learning, but most companies have these resources for free. So I recommend you guys checking with your own company, see if you already have LinkedIn Learning partnership with your company. If you are watching this from United States, again, libraries, public libraries have partnerships with LinkedIn Learning that gives you access to all of the classes in LinkedIn Learning for free. So I recommend you checking those resources first, and then if not, moving on to other options. So I've been teaching Python, working with predictive analytics, which is the very essential tool in this particular field that reached to almost 300,000 learners worldwide. And then I taught GitHub for data science job seekers, as well as deep learning applications with Keras and deep learning image recognition. And I'm working at the moment on 5 more AI courses that are currently in production. That's waiting for me to be in California to record them in next few months. So these courses are helpful because they are hands-on, and there are a lot more courses in LinkedIn Learning and other platforms where you code along with the instructor, as some of you are very familiar with. So there are resources available like code spaces that you can open up in GitHub itself. That means you don't have to actually establish any platform on your own local PC to work with. You can just run the code with the instructor as you watch. So it's very, very fast pace, and then you gain the skills quite quickly in the field. So let's take a step back and kind of zoom out, if you will, and focus on how we can understand the ecosystem, kind of like the map. If we are taking a walking trail, we look at the map, where do we even start from, right? For some of us who are watching and wondering how they can be involved in this field. Number one is machine learning. So this is, as we know, is the core of AI, which enables systems to learn from data and then make smart predictions from data. Where it's used everywhere, right? It's used as recommendation systems such as Amazon, Netflix, other recommendation systems, fraud detection in banks, if your credit card purchase is a fraud or not, or in predictive analytics in a lot of fields. Next, I would like to go over deep learning. So deep learning, again, takes things a step further with a little bit more advanced neural networks. This technology powers some of today's most exciting AI breakthroughs, including computer vision, natural language processing, and even autonomous vehicle projects are all under the umbrella of deep learning. And then we move on to the data engineering piece. So this is what we call like a backbone of AI and data science. Why? Because data engineering involves building efficient data pipelines to manage, clean, and process large volumes of data, which is crucial for feeding accurate information to machine learning and deep learning models. So even milliseconds are very important in data engineering to pull and push data into these big warehouses and creating very efficient data pipelines. So all three are in the works of the big ecosystem and are extremely important that we need to cover. So mastering these areas, machine learning, deep learning, and data engineering, will give you a very strong foundation in AI and data science. So by leveraging the free resources from some of the cloud providers, some of the course providers, you can build these skills very effectively and then very, very efficiently. So let's go ahead and visit some of the essential skills for AI and data science and where we can obtain these skills. So first of all, I highly recommend everyone to be very familiar with Python, if not already, in AI and data science. The first essential skill in programming is Python. Why? Because this is the most widely used language in AI and data science. It's versatile. It's easy to learn. It's almost like English, very fun to learn. And it has a vast array of libraries for, say, data analysis, visualization, and machine learning, even web development. When I actually first started Python for data analytics, I partnered my code with web development to make it more fun and build dashboards integrated with the predictive analytics. So you can start learning Python for free in a lot of resources, but some of my favorites are as follows, like Google's Python class, for example. LinkedIn Learning has a ton of Python classes. Code Academy, again, Udemy has very good Python courses, and Coursera's free Python basics courses are one of my favorite courses that I recommend. Next is the machine learning fundamentals. Well, this is very important to build a very solid understanding of machine learning in the field. Again, I would like to highlight Google here. Google's machine learning crash course is excellent. And at the time of me checking it, it's free. And that covers fundamental concepts and helps you gain very practical experiences with, most importantly, hands-on exercises, because we would like to balance the theoretical knowledge with hands-on exercises, and Google does it so well. That's why I highly recommend Google's particularly machine learning crash course. Moving on to data manipulation and visualization. Well, understanding how to manipulate and visualize data is crucial because, again, as we all know, garbage in, garbage out, right? There are so many data sources online that are coming with like so-called dirty or not in the format we want, or not in the situation where we can feed them into the machine learning algorithms. So we have to be masters of data manipulation as well as visualization, because we have to see the data we are working with. Doesn't matter what project we are working with. So that's why data manipulation and visualization is very essential, because we have to understand how to manipulate and visualize it. DataCamp's free beginner courses or Tableau's public tutorials are excellent with regards to how to transform raw data into meaningful insights. And again, Tableau, especially in the business field, Tableau is very popular, and they do offer some advantages in their products for students. If you are with a university and you have a university email, it's worthwhile to check if you can gather some of their licensing through your universities or through your institutions. Moving on, how you can deepen your understanding. Well, it's always a learning game, right? So it's never ending. We cannot say, okay, now we mastered Python, we mastered, Google's machine learning crash course, Tableau, DataCamp. No, it's a race, and we are always kind of trying to catch the latest and greatest tool to be on the top of the game, right? So I'm an educator, for example, for 2 decades plus, but more than an educator, I'm a learner. I myself go and sign up for courses all the time. To where? To EDX, to Udemy, to Coursera, to LinkedIn Learning. Anywhere you can be on top of your technical game and polish your skill sets in the data science and AI field. With some additional payment, I believe EDX and some of them are also giving you certifications. I believe EDX is partnered with big universities like Harvard and other universities as well. So it's very worthwhile to check if you haven't already. All of them, particularly EDX for certification. So to conclude, to take home from this particular slide, we have to master these particular essential skills and leverage free resources first, and then paid resources second, if you would like to showcase your certification, for example, on LinkedIn and other platforms. How about practice, right? So the best way to master anything, including AI and data science, is what? Through hands-on practice. So by diving into real-world applications and working with interactive labs and tutorials, or coming to meetups like this today, you will gain a deeper understanding of these concepts. Some examples. Google Cloud with Quick Labs. Start with Google Cloud platforms, for example, free Quick Labs, which offer hands-on labs to explore cloud-based AI services. There are so many labs everywhere, including in Quick Labs. But if you are wondering, okay, where do I begin, right? There is a big sea of tutorials everywhere. Well, begin with BigQuery and TensorFlow. Go ahead and master these two, and these will give you a very strong foundation in handling particularly large data sets and building machine learning models. TensorFlow, again, is very highly used tool in this field. So what about AWS? AWS is, again, one of the big players in this cloud systems, as well as the university. AWS has a university in itself. It's called AWS Machine Learning University. So this is an excellent resource offering free courses. Some of them are paid, I believe, designed for data science beginners. So these tutorials cover various machine learning services and techniques which you can practice your skills using AWS's tools. Why is this important? Because industrial companies or small startups are also, most of them, using AWS. So by taking these skills in your belt from AWS Machine Learning University, you are kind of killing two birds with one stone, right? So you are first learning the skill set in a university environment, sort of like an online university environment. Second, you can claim that you have experience in AWS's cloud services when you are looking for a job. Therefore, I prioritized these learning platforms first because these are also helping you in your job search. Moving on. So let's look at Microsoft's Azure free tier. Another extremely very valuable resource is Microsoft Azure. It's very widely used. You can go ahead and experiment with Azure's AI models and get familiar with cloud-based machine learning. They have something called Azure Machine Learning Studio, which you can build and deploy machine learning models here. And with those, the goal is to combine what you have learned from these cloud platforms to build practical projects. So these projects, like I said, not only help you to build your skills, but also provide you tangible evidence regarding your abilities, which is very, very essential when you are showcasing your portfolio to potential employers worldwide, right? Because these are very global resources. Then I highly recommend leveraging these platforms and practice your skills in a real world context. This will make you more prepared and confident in your AI and data science journey. As we talked about, practice, practice, practice, right? So it's not enough to have just the theoretical knowledge or get lost in these courses that you sign up for and never finish, right? I know most of us do that. We sign up for 10, 15 courses everywhere, and all of them are kind of halfway through. So today, as you are watching this video, make a goal of one course, one practical project. One course, one practical project. I highly recommend you not jumping from different courses. Take the theoretical knowledge and avoid not using it in practical experiences and projects. So build real world problems and projects. This is very excellent way to demonstrate your problem solving skills. As Oscar Wilde said, experience is simply the name we give to our mistakes. So never let the perfection stop you from putting together projects and showcasing your portfolio, because that's how we improve, right? So what can be those practical projects? If you are taking some of the ideas from here, this is an excellent slide to take notes of. Image classification with TensorFlow on Google Colab itself. So Google Colab is ready to go. So you just open Google Colab and start working on it immediately in Jupyter Notebooks. This is a great project idea because you can build image classification model using TensorFlow on Google Colab. This project involves training a model to identify different objects such as animals, scenes within images, etc., right? And one other advantage, a big advantage, is Google Colab is a free cloud-based environment to build and test your model, making it a very good starting point, which doesn't require to install any extra softwares or plugins to your own local PC or MacBook or another system, right? So image classification with TensorFlow in Google Colab, excellent projects to work on and put together to your portfolio. So what are some of the other resources that you can quickly jump in and put together a project to showcase in your portfolio? Is AWS, right? As I mentioned, Amazon Web Services. So there's a tool that I would like to highlight here is AWS Comprehend. This is another very valuable skill, which is natural language processing, NLP. I highly recommend having at least one NLP project in your own portfolio to showcase to potential employers or starting your own company, right? We are not only looking to be hired. You might have a more entrepreneur or startup mindset. There you have it. I highly recommend you having at least one NLP projects in your portfolio. So what does it involve? It involves analyzing text data and extracting insights from this, right? It can involve tasks like sentiment analysis, which is heavily used in marketing, right? So you can go and pull all the text data from a product, such as from websites, what the users are saying, put together some analysis, and you can target your marketing accordingly. Or social media sentiment analysis, entity recognition, or text summarization. You can do so much with NLP. These skills are in very high demand across many industries. What are some of the other projects that we can consider for our portfolios, right? One other project that I would like to highlight here is from Azure, Microsoft using Microsoft Azure, which is chatbot development, right? So chatbots are everywhere nowadays. It's so hard to find a real human being, right? Sometimes we get frustrated when we have any questions and we want to get quickly to the human. But it's a reality. We are living in an AI world, chatbot world. So it's good to know how to build one ourselves too. So these are becoming increasingly very important for businesses. Developing one can be a fantastic project for your portfolio. So with Microsoft Azure's suite of AI services, you can build a conversational chatbot that understands and interacts with users. So what does it involve? Well, it involves integrating a language understanding model in the background, managing dialogues, and deploying the chatbot to a platform. So I highly recommend going through some of Microsoft Azure's platforms and services. This is just one suggestion, one idea. You can pick your own curiosity, your own passion project, and play with it. Azure, like other cloud platforms, also have some advantages, accounts for students as well. So some of us who are involved with some universities or institutions, check that out first before you start going with a pay-as-you-go account or some other accounts, because they do offer some free resources for students. Next, this is actually one of my favorites. I use this all the time. I use this a lot with my LinkedIn Learning courses. I use this platform a lot with Columbia University in New York when I was teaching machine learning and data science courses. So what is this? Some of us have, I'm sure, worked with this a lot. If you are new to this, this is called the Kaggle platform. So Kaggle has unlimited, unlimited is not the right word, but a ton of data that you can pull and work with in range of topics, right? These are free data sets. They have topics like statistics, Bitcoin, what do we see here, like fruits, image recognition, a lot of different kinds of data where you can get the data from here and work with it to improve your skill sets, right? Just make sure you are following the guidelines that the Kaggle suggests if you were to go ahead and publish this somewhere or go ahead and do something with this data. Mainly, this is a great resource for polishing your skill sets, learning any kind of topic here. So you go to Kaggle and search for any data sets you want, and you go ahead and start with this data. You clean the data if it's not clean already. You manipulate it, you visualize it, then you work with machine learning algorithms with it. You work with how you can improve those algorithms with hyperparameter optimizations or some tweaking, how you can improve accuracy, things like that. And another resource here is you can see other people's notebooks here. Other people's notebooks are also visible where you can go ahead, and most of them are in a Jupyter notebook form. You can open that up and follow along with it. Jupyter notebooks have text and they have code, so you can read through it and look at the code and get inspiration in terms of what other people are doing and how they are solving the problem. Excellent resource. And you can also compete here. There are a lot of competitions, and some of them are actually have good awards in terms of financial awards as well. So great resource here. So this will give you not only skill set improvement, but tangible examples to showcase in your portfolio, demonstrating your ability in AI and data science in real world scenarios in the field you want. How amazing is that? You can pick the field you want and you can practice anything you want in this. I actually focused on Kaggle, but there's also UCI machine learning as well that has a lot of data as well. So moving on, I would like to touch on some of the certifications and structured learning paths. Now we talked about how we can improve ourselves and skill sets in AI and data science, how we can build our portfolio so far. But in the real world, we have to somehow stamp those, right? To give the credibility to our skill set, if you will. So if you are looking into some certifications, here are some of the big names and my suggestions that you can start from. Number one is Google Cloud, of course. Google Cloud is a great platform that offers range of skill badges through their Skills Boost program. So these badges cover various topics, and earning them not only demonstrates your proficiency, but also it unlocks free training resources for you. It's a great way to build your skills. Most of them are free while gaining industry recognized credentials, right? Next is AWS. There's AWS Educate. There's machine learning badges that AWS offers as well. These badges are very, very essential for mastering the key machine learning concepts. Well, these help you to gain hands-on experience with AWS's powerful machine learning services and can be a very good addition to your professional profile, which you can go ahead and also share in LinkedIn as well or other platforms. Moving on to other certification platform that I suggest is Microsoft Azure. So for those who are interested in cloud-based AI, again, Microsoft Azure is excellent in terms of certifications through their Azure Fundamentals program. This is another great way, right, to familiarize yourselves to cloud-based AI technologies and gain foundational knowledge that you can build upon. So as you are building on your skills, I recommend going ahead and getting those certifications as well, right? You may not think you need the badge at this very moment. Maybe you are established with a company or running your own company, but you never know when these badges may come useful. So I highly recommend obtaining these badges if that's in your plan, because it helps you showcase your skill sets to the world, and you will be well equipped to advance your career. Next, something we actually sometimes skip in this field that is as important as the technical skills is the soft skills and networking in the AI community, right? So we have to be able to effectively communicate our results and experience from the AI and data science projects, right? It's not just about building models, manipulating data, and showcasing, okay, this is my accuracy, I am done with this model. But more importantly, being able to explain why we even were curious about this project. How do we explain complex topics in a simple, easy to understand language? You know, there's a famous quote, explain things simply, but not simpler, or something like that, right? Explain things simply. That's how you understand it, right? It's important, especially in corporate, where you may be working with non-technical stakeholders, right? So some team members or stakeholders may be non-technical, and we have to be able to communicate our steps and results with everyone. I recommend LinkedIn Learning's communication courses as well, and they're excellent. Next is collaboration. So AI and data science projects are often team-based, so the ability to collaborate with everyone is essential. Engage in group projects. Even if you may not be employed at the very moment, find people in Meetup. We are in a Meetup call right now. You know, reach out to some of them and engage in a group project. Meet with them and do some of the projects together. Contribute to open source AI or data science initiatives. Like there are initiatives like DataKind, which are my favorite, which you build some of the projects for communities good, right? These experiences help you develop your ability to provide also constructive feedback and work effectively with everyone. Adaptability. AI field is moving very fast. We have to be very adaptable, right? With new tools, techniques, and approaches that are emerging regularly every day. We are always falling behind if we are not moving ahead, right? To stay relevant, we must be adaptable and willing to continuously learn. Embrace change and be open to exploring different ways to solve complex problems, right? That is different than chasing every sparkling object, right? This is also hard, chasing every sparkling object and not being an expert in one thing. So finding a balance between being adaptable and going deep in the subject you want. Networking. So this is a very significant role in our career development. Communities like Kaggle, GitHub, and local PyData meetups are excellent platforms to showcase your projects, ask questions, and connect with like-minded people. Another great resource, great step that I highly recommend you doing is public speaking. Do one project and volunteer to speak in a meetup. Share your knowledge with others. Number one, you learn better by teaching and sharing. Number two, you gain network, and you never know when you might be able to collaborate with those new people that you meet as you publicly speaking, right? So these soft skills, these 5 skills are as important as the technical skills, if not more, in your journey as well. Moving on. So overcoming challenges. Well, break your learning into manageable chunks, right? We covered a lot of ground today. We covered about cloud, online courses, machine learning, deep learning, data engineering, etc. But break them into manageable chunks. We don't have to attack and learn everything today at the very moment. You can make a good structured learning plan, right? For example, I would like to first master Python, and then I'm going to move on to data understanding and manipulation, etc. You can leverage tools like Trello, Notion, or even a simple spreadsheet, or even like just a, pen and paper in a like traditional form. Actually, nothing replaces pen and paper, in my opinion. But long story short, make a structured plan. Find support in online communities, right? Don't underestimate the power of communities. Engage with others, like-minded people, and learn from them or teach them, etc. And don't be afraid to ask for help, right? Everyone starts as a beginner, and sometimes it may be overwhelming. There's so much to learn in this AI field. Reach out to mentors, reach out to instructors, peers when you're stuck or need clarification. Embrace a mindset of continuous learning, right? It will help you overcome obstacles and stay motivated. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of good, right? Good is sometimes enough. Sometimes perfectionism makes us fall behind, right? Don't let that happen. So following those structured plan, making goals, creating a good plan for yourself, manage those chunks, there's no way that you cannot succeed. So some of the job hunting tips involve LinkedIn. LinkedIn is your digital resume. Post regularly, post quality content, right? This is a great networking platform in our area, data science and AI. Make sure to showcase your projects, skills, and certifications here. Engage with posts, join relevant groups, or sometimes answer other people's questions in the field. Another great resource is GitHub. GitHub is your portfolio, right? Where you showcase your projects you have built. Maintain a strong profile with well-documented repositories. Use that markdown, right? Consider using GitHub pages to create a personal website, highlight your work, make it easy for potential employers or collaborators to find you or interact with you, right? Free job boards. Platforms like Indeed, Glassdoor, Niche, other job platforms, look at them, or LinkedIn actually has a good job board as well. Set up job alerts. You never miss out those like some keywords that you are interested in. Finally, networking, right? Networking is a key, finding job opportunities that aren't always advertised. Some of them are not in the job post yet, but you may be from other people, right? Person meetups, webinars, conferences like PyData, connect with industry experts and build relationships. It doesn't have to be first, just be curious. Hey, what are you doing? Can you explain this project to me, right? It doesn't have to have a goal when you start with. Building relationships can open doors that, you are not thinking of. AI and data science skills are accessible, again, to everyone. Start with foundational skills, build projects, hands-on projects, and leverage free resources or some paid resources we talked about. Don't just learn, right? Apply, connect, and share your journey. I am also open with any questions that you might have, whether it's AI and data science, whether it's career, whether it's suggestions of resources. I'm here. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. You can scan this QR code or you can type my name on LinkedIn. Just go ahead and connect with me. I'm happy to hear from any one of you. And I'll be more than happy to help if if you have any questions about anything in this field. So I think I'm about time. I want to stop here to see if there's any questions before we move on to the next sessions that are waiting for us today.
Thank you for a great talk, Mrs. Işıl Berkün. Like you said, and thank you for keeping up the date correct because I moved 5 minutes later than actual. Is there any question, or maybe I'm the curious and I can ask the question? Okay. I might have one question based on all the technologies tools that you asked. It's a really long way, as you mentioned it, and I believe at some point you need to have a goal, like you mentioned, landing a job, being some entrepreneur, or being a tutor, or being a something. And at some point when you reach that goal, whether you need to create another goal or you need to stay up to date, how did you keep your motivation up to date and not lost?
Great question, Hassan. Thank you for asking that. So how to keep the motivation is some sort of internal. I always think bigger than the projects that I'm working with, bigger than myself. How can I create a project that is helpful to a certain community? How can I work on a project that is helping for people in need? What are the skill sets that I can go ahead and learn this? For example, LinkedIn Learning is a passion project of mine. I'm teaching more than 300,000 people. So that goal itself is bigger than me. I'm speaking globally to a lot of people. So that is a big push for me to be on the top of the game in my area. So I'm always learning the latest tool, latest technology, and it's not work for me, it's fun. It's also like a personal interest, right? So when I go to a meetup, we are coding together. It's for me like a vacation, if you will. So if you have a goal that is bigger than you, for example, mine is, like I said, educating people around the world globally, which is more than 300,000 people now. That is a big enough goal that helps me wake up very early in the day and just getting ahead of a lot of people to help other people. So just having a big goal, putting together a structured plan, and just executing the plan.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great idea. And yes, probably I need to adjust my side. Thank you. We have
Absolutely.
one more question from Abdullah Kasri, and his question is, what are your advices on learning LLMs efficiently? And probably yes, after that question we can.
Absolutely. Great question, Abdullah. So there are great resources in LinkedIn Learning. First of all, look if your company has a partnership with LinkedIn Learning, or some libraries offer this resource for free. In fact, some of my instructor colleagues are teaching LLMs. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, I can provide you the links of these courses that I particularly recommend, that are excellent in LinkedIn Learning, that have you learn the LLMs very much hands-on. So I recommend finding a course and doing the project hands-on, and then showcasing that profile in LinkedIn, connecting with other people, and then finding another project. So one course, one project, going with that plan. Hopefully that answers your question. Again, I'm more than happy to connect and provide more resources.
Thank you.
My
Hopefully
pleasure.
all side clear for Abdullah as well. So we are very happy again to see you, and hopefully in our next events, and we will meet with you again. Thanks a lot. And it was, like I mentioned, it was great events. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you very much.